The Great Barrier Reef. The Great Barrier Reef is an almost continuous ridge of 3,000 reefs and about 1,000 islands, stretches for 2,300 kilometers along the northeast coast of Australia from the southern tropic to the coastal waters of Papua New Guinea. It is the most colossal structure on Earth, built by living organisms, with which neither the Great Wall of China nor the tunnel under the English Channel can compete. It is a whole universe, the marvelous beauty of which can be appreciated only by going into it in the full sense of the word with your head, with a scuba diver on your shoulders. During the expedition of 1770, James Cook literally touched the island of Heron and almost suffered a shipwreck. The small island, 750 to 300 meters across and about 5 meters high, is surrounded by a belt of reefs 11 kilometers wide. The sand on the island is not ordinary quartz, but coral. 95% of this sand consists of calcium carbonate. Under a microscope, it can be seen that it consists of crushed shells and skeletons of corals, mollusks, starfish and algae. The Great Barrier Reef is formed by approximately 3,000 individual reefs, ranging in area from 1 hectare to 100,000 hectares. Some of them protrude above the surface of the sea, the rest are entirely hidden underwater. Some reefs look like closed rings, while others look like crescents or ridges like breakwaters. Hardy Reef is a typical platform structure with an area of about 3,000 hectares. This is a real seamount of organic origin that rises 80 meters from the ocean floor. There are 3 main types of reefs. Coral reefs that grow along the continental margins or along the islands are known as fringing reefs. Barrier reefs are extensive, highest, and widest linear reefs which run parallel to a shore and are separated by a lagoon many times. And an atoll is a ring of narrow-growing coral reef systems which surround a large and deep central lagoon. The main part of the reefs is about 500,000 years old. During this time, coral polyps manage to erect buildings with an average height of 120 meters. Reef construction continues today, although it is not easy to notice. After all, the calcareous skeletons of polyps grow very slowly, about 5 centimeters per year. In addition to reefs, there are about 300 coral islands. They almost never rise above the surface of the sea. Of these, only about 100 are permanently covered with vegetation. The vegetation of the islands is quite sparse, mainly Pisonia grandis with large leaves, related to the bougainvillea often grown in tubs. Pandanus, ficus and casuarina are large trees, so named because of the resemblance of the branches to the plumage of a cassowary. Finally, the Great Barrier Reef includes another 618 so-called high islands, for example, Magnetic Island and the Whitsunday group of islands, which in ancient times were part of the Australian continent. They are located near the coast and represent the remains of a mountain range that was flooded after the last glaciation. Strictly speaking, these islands cannot be classified as reef structures. They are covered with forest and usually form their own coral necklace around them. The width of the Great Barrier Reef ranges from 300 meters in the north to 5 kilometers in the southern part, and from the mainland coast it is located at a distance of 30 kilometers at Cape York Peninsula to 250 kilometers at the Tropic of Capricorn. Due to the fact that the area of many islands increases during low tide, and others even appear from under the water only at these hours, the exact size of the territory of this unique natural structure is extremely difficult to establish. According to rough estimates, the area of the coral barrier reaches 350,000 kilometers, that is, almost equal to the territory of Germany. In 1975, the Australian government founded the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park here, the world's largest protected area, the main wealth of which is the underwater world of coral reefs. Once you dive into the crystal waters of the Great Barrier Reef, you will see a magical garden covering the seabed. It is inhabited by corals of the most bizarre colors and shapes. Some resemble trees and shrubs, others resemble giant fans, pipes and balls. All these are representatives of different orders of coral polyps, madrepore corals, gorgonians, alcyonarians and turbinarians, about 400 species in total. These living organisms feed on microparticles, which they capture with their burning tentacles. The reef is also home to many single-celled algae, which are the main source of nutrition for turtles, fish, echinoderms, and mollusks and, in addition, play an important role in the processes of reef formation. The reefs are inhabited by an incredible number of fauna. There are about 4,000 species of mollusks alone, and this is not counting the huge variety of sponges, sea anemones and crustaceans. There are relatively few mammals here, mostly whales, including the humpback whale and killer whale. Finally, the Great Barrier Reef is the main refuge for the dugong, a marine mammal related to the manatee. But still, coral reefs are, first of all, the kingdom of fish. There are about 1,500 species of them here. Many of them are indescribably beautiful, such as zebra lionfish, angelfish and butterfly fish with amazing shapes and colors. When they swim past, you feel as if you are in a giant aquarium. And the strange creature, the horned boxfish, Lactoria cornuta, seems to have come out of a child's drawing. It looks like a box, and a pair of horns stick out above its eyes. It swims slowly, constant. Between the tentacles of sea anemones you can often see small orange or red fish with black and white stripes. These are clownfish. The stinging tentacles do not cause them the slightest harm and even serve as protection from predators. Here you can also meet quite friendly tauvin groupers weighing under 150 kilograms. The Great Barrier Reef is also home to the world's largest population of green turtles. 6 of the 7 species of sea turtles found on Earth are found in the Barrier Reef region. There is also an incredibly large variety of different crustaceans. Even in small individual reefs there can be more than 100 species. Shrimp, crab, lobster, there's plenty of them all. At the same time, there is little terrestrial vegetation here. Only 40 species of plants grow on the islands that make up the reef. In the 1960s the reef almost died due to a sharp increase in the number of starfish with the beautiful name crown of thorns. Reaching half a meter in diameter, the starfish with numerous tentacles releases digestive juice into the holes of the coral houses and digests the polyps. The reason for the excessive reproduction of these coelenteраtes was the disappearance in many places of the reef of their natural enemies, predatory newt snails, which were collected for their beautiful shells. One proposed solution to how to save the Great Barrier Reef is to move it to a more favorable location. One 5-ton piece of coral reef was successfully transported to Dubai in 2008. However, moving a coral reef system the size of a large country is technically impossible. It has become possible to admire the Great Barrier Reef from anywhere in the world. At the end of 2014, Google launched Google Underwater Street View, including 2,300 kilometers of the Great Barrier Reef in 3D. The photographs were taken with special cameras that rotate 360 degrees and take pictures every 3 seconds. But, of course, nothing compares to a real dive. We wish you a dive, if not to the bottom of a big coral reef, then at least in the plan of a new weekend trip. Bye.